The year was 1938. Korea was under colonial rule. In Daegu, a man named Byung-chul had a dream. He was a young entrepreneur. He wanted to start his own business. This was not a tech company. It was a simple trading company. Byung-chul named his company Samsung Sangho. Samsung means 3 stars in Korean. The name symbolized something big, numerous, and powerful. The company had only 40 employees. Its main business was trading locally grown groceries. They also produced their own noodles. They exported dried fish and vegetables. These goods went to Manchuria and Beijing. It was a modest operation, focused on basic needs. Byung-chul faced many challenges. The political situation was unstable. Resources were often scarce. Yet, he persevered with determination. He built his company brick by brick. He focused on quality and reliability. This helped Samsung gain a good reputation. Customers trusted the products Samsung traded. Few could have imagined what Samsung would become. From these humble origins, a global empire would rise. The small grocery trading store was just the first step. It laid the foundation for decades of innovation. After its start in groceries, Samsung slowly grew. The Korean War in the early 1950s was a huge challenge. It disrupted everything. Businesses were destroyed. The economy was in ruins. Byung-chul had to be resilient. He relocated his business to Busan. This was a safer area during the war. He did not give up on his vision. In the post-war years, South Korea focused on rebuilding. The government encouraged industrial development. Samsung played its part in this national effort. Byung-chul diversified his business interests. He moved into sugar refining. Cheoljidang was founded. This was a big step. Sugar was a valuable commodity. It helped Samsung grow its capital. Then, he ventured into textiles. Mojik was established. It became the largest woolen mill in the country. Each new venture was a learning experience. Samsung was building its strength. It was becoming a more significant company in Korea. Byung-chul believed in reinvesting profits. He used the money earned to start new businesses. He also focused on hiring talented people. The company started to be known for more than just noodles. It was becoming a symbol of Korea's economic rise. The leap into the world of electronics was coming soon. The late 1960s marked a major turning point for Samsung. Byung-chul saw a new global trend: electronics. He believed electronics would be the future. South Korea was eager to develop its own tech industry. Samsung decided to take this bold step. In 1969, Samsung Electronics was officially established. The first products were simple. Samsung Electronics started by assembling black and white televisions. They partnered with Japanese companies like Sanyo. This helped them learn the technology. They also made calculators and refrigerators. Washing machines and air conditioners soon followed. The goal was to produce affordable electronics for the Korean market. Quality was a key focus from the beginning. Samsung wanted to build a reputation for reliable products. Competition was fierce, both locally and internationally. Japanese companies already dominated the electronics market. Samsung had to work hard to catch up. They invested heavily in research and development. They also focused on improving manufacturing processes. Byung-chul knew that Samsung needed its own technology. He pushed his engineers to innovate. This strategic shift laid the groundwork for Samsung's transformation. From a trading company, it was becoming an electronics manufacturer. The world would soon take notice. Byung-chul was more than just a businessman. He was a visionary leader. Born in 1910 to a wealthy landowning family, he had an early education in classical Chinese studies. He later attended Waseda University in Tokyo. However, he did not complete his degree. He returned to Korea with a keen interest in business. His philosophy was simple: contribute to the nation through enterprise. This became a guiding principle for Samsung. Lee was known for his intense focus on cleanliness and order. He believed that a clean factory produced high-quality goods. He would personally inspect facilities. This obsession with quality control became ingrained in Samsung's culture. He also emphasized human resource development. He often said, "A company is its people." He invested in training and believed in nurturing talent from within the company. Byung-chul was also known for his foresight. His decision to enter the semiconductor industry in the 1970s was a prime example. At the time, many considered it too risky, but Lee saw it as essential for Samsung's future. He famously declared, "Samsung's survival depends on semiconductors." His leadership style was often described as patriarchal. He demanded loyalty and hard work. His legacy continues to influence Samsung even today. The 1980s were a pivotal decade for Samsung. Lee Byung-chul made a monumental decision. Samsung would enter the semiconductor business. This was a high-stakes gamble. Semiconductors, or memory chips, were the building blocks of the digital age. The industry was dominated by American and Japanese giants. It required massive capital investment. It also required advanced technological expertise. Korea had very little of either at the time. Despite the risks, Lee Byung-chul pushed forward. In 1983, Samsung announced its entry into VLSI, or Very Large-Scale Integration Chip Production. He famously said, "Even if I sacrifice my other companies, I will proceed." Samsung acquired a small American company, Tristar Semiconductor. This gave them a starting point. They began producing 64 kilobit DRAM chips. DRAM stands for Dynamic Random Access Memory. These chips are vital for computers and electronics. The early years were incredibly challenging. Samsung faced huge losses. The technology was complex, yield rates were low. The global semiconductor market was also very volatile. Many inside and outside Samsung questioned the wisdom of this venture, but Lee Byung-chul and his son, Lee Kun-hee, remained committed. Slowly but surely, Samsung started to master the technology. By the late 1980s, Samsung was becoming a significant player in the DRAM market. This success in semiconductors was a game-changer. While electronics and semiconductors became Samsung's global face, the company's reach extended far wider. Lee Byung-chul had always believed in diversification. This strategy helped Samsung weather economic storms. It also allowed the company to tap into various growth sectors. Over the decades, Samsung grew into a chaebol. This is a Korean term for a large family-controlled industrial conglomerate. Its businesses spanned numerous, often unrelated industries. One major area was heavy industries. Samsung Heavy Industries became a world leader in shipbuilding. They built massive container ships, oil tankers, and drilling rigs. Samsung also ventured into construction. Samsung C&T, Construction and Trading, built iconic structures. These included the Petronas Towers in Malaysia. They also built the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, the world's tallest building. Samsung also had interests in finance and insurance. Samsung Life Insurance became one of Korea's largest insurance providers. There was Samsung Card for credit services. Other ventures included petrochemicals with Samsung Total Petrochemicals. They were involved in the hotel industry with the Shilla Hotels and Resorts. This extensive diversification had its pros and cons. It provided resilience and multiple revenue streams. It transformed Samsung from a national company into a global economic force. The 1990s and 2000s saw Samsung transform into a global brand. Under Lee Kun-hee, Samsung aimed to lead in digital technology. He declared a new management initiative in 1993, urging employees to change everything except your wife and kids. Samsung invested heavily in marketing and brand building, sponsoring major events like the Olympics. The Galaxy series challenged Apple's iPhone. Samsung's strengths in component manufacturing gave it an advantage. Samsung's flat-screen TVs dominated the market. Samsung became a global powerhouse. As of 2025, Samsung stands as one of the world's largest technology companies by revenue. Its influence is vast, touching nearly every aspect of the digital world, from the smartphones in our pockets to the televisions in our living rooms, from the memory chips inside our computers to the massive ships crossing our oceans. Samsung's products and services are ubiquitous. The company employs hundreds of thousands of people worldwide. It operates in numerous countries. Samsung Electronics remains the flagship company. It leads in several key markets. These include smartphones, televisions, and memory semiconductors, DRAM and NAND flash. It is also a major player in home appliances. Think refrigerators, washing machines, and air conditioners. Samsung Display is a world leader in OLED and LCD screen technology. Its screens are used not only in Samsung products but also by competitors, including Apple. Beyond consumer electronics, Samsung continues its strong presence in other sectors. Samsung Heavy Industries remains a top shipbuilder. Samsung Biologics is a growing force in biopharmaceutical manufacturing. Samsung C&T is involved in global construction and trading. This diversification continues to provide a broad base for the company. Despite its immense success, Samsung faces ongoing challenges. Competition in the tech industry is relentless. Samsung must constantly adapt and innovate to maintain its leadership position. Looking ahead, Samsung is positioning itself for the next wave of technological advancements. The company is investing heavily in future growth engines. Artificial intelligence (AI) is a major focus. Samsung aims to integrate AI into all its devices and services. This will make them smarter and more intuitive. They are developing their own AI chips and software platforms. The race for AI dominance is intense. Samsung wants to be a leader. Another key area is 5G and the upcoming 6G network technology. Samsung is a leading provider of 5G network equipment. They are also conducting research into 6G. This will enable even faster and more connected experiences. The Internet of Things, IoT, is closely linked to this. Samsung envisions a world where all devices are seamlessly connected. Their SmartThings platform is a step in this direction. Samsung is also exploring new frontiers. These include automotive technology, particularly for electric and autonomous vehicles. They're investing in digital health and robotics. Sustainability is also becoming a more important focus. Samsung is working to reduce its environmental footprint. They are using more recycled materials. They are designing more energy-efficient products. The journey of Samsung from a small trading post to a global tech titan is truly epic. The future will undoubtedly bring new opportunities and new hurdles. If its history is any guide, Samsung will continue to strive.